Love it or hate it, there's no denying how popular Riverdale is among the masses. It's the talk of the town, be it memes, reaction videos, or just discussions over how goofy the show has become now. Just a week before the release of the much-anticipated finale of Season 6, the CW unveiled a preview for the last episode, which got fans pumped up across the internet. In this video, let's look at what we know. First off, the CW released a preview for the Season 6 finale. After the 21st episode, just one more remained of Riverdale's 6th season. While the previous one had proved to be the series' wildest yet, there was still another threat the characters had to face. The CW released a preview for the Season 6 finale scheduled to air on the 31st of July, and from the looks of things, the people of Riverdale would have to face the end of the world. In the preview, we see various characters from the show all preparing for the worst, which is presumably the arrival of Bailey's Comet. This is the celestial event previously visited in the 4th episode of this season. Whatever the comet held for Riverdale, this clip gave the impression that it would change everything heading into the future. Fans had mixed reactions to the preview once it was released on the internet. Those who still actively watched and enjoyed the show expressed their excitement about the finale. On the other hand, some thought this was a ridiculous turn for a show that literally started out as a high school murder mystery 5 seasons ago. Either way, it was interesting to see how the clip sparked a lot of conversation across different social media platforms. Next, the release of the finale and its events. A week after the preview was released on the 31st of July, the final episode of Season 6 also came out. And just as expected, it was eventful to say the least. Beware of spoilers because we'll be diving into details. In simple words, I asked the characters what they would do if the world were ending. With Bailey's Comet hurtling toward the town and a barrier holding everyone inside, time was certainly running out for everyone. The stakes had never been higher than in this season, and everybody was trying to rise to the occasion while making time for what mattered. When one's confronted with a near certain death, it's bound to shine a whole new light on life and consider how they want to be spending their time. Hence, so much of the finale was about what was most important to these characters and where they wanted to be after the comet if they were lucky enough to survive. Everyone was shown doing something in that situation, but Cheryl was definitely a standout in the episode. Even though most of the characters had powers, her Phoenix ability was the only one that stood a chance of taking out the comet. She stepped up to the plate so courageously and beautifully in every way, and it was incredible to see her come into all of her power. But of course, she needed a little more than that to pull this comet off. While her Phoenix power might have been enough to melt it, it could have resulted in the deaths of those she'd probably resurrected. Veronica suddenly came up with an idea to transfer everyone's power to Cheryl using her dialysis abilities, making her even stronger. When it came down to this, all that was left was an unforgettable musical performance of The End of the World by Billie Eilish and a final stand from Cheryl. Everyone's vocals were at their best in this scene, making the whole scene even more emotional, building up to the final moment before everything ended. Also, what we think the ending means. While the whole end of the world situation in the finale might have been a bit too exaggerated, it also kind of proved to be true. This is because the world did end in their universe, in a way. While nobody actually died in the episode, their memories and their trajectories sure did. Surprisingly, Archie woke up the next morning as a teenager in 1955, looking very much like his namesake comic book character, just like the world has loved for decades. The only one who seemed to remember anything from before the blast was Jughead, our faithful narrator. Our guess is that this is all a result of Tabitha's time travel abilities getting into the mix, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody else's powers make themselves known in this new world or whatever it is. That might explain why Jughead is the only one with his memories, because his mind does have reading and portal creating abilities. It's wild that we'll be spending at least some time of the next Riverdale season this way. Of course, in a way, it seems fitting. They began the show as teenagers, and the 50s aesthetic will pay a nice homage to the original source material. However, we can't help but think about how this will affect everyone's character arcs. Will they spend the entire season finding their way back to where they were before the comet hit? Will a return to their youth awaken something inside of them that they'd long forgotten? Will they ever even make it out of the 50s and return to the present world? These and so many other questions, we'll have to wait until Riverdale returns for its next season. The suspense is already killing everyone. Now in other related news. Also, Season 7 confirmed as the last of Riverdale. It's been 5 years since the pilot episode aired, and we're still watching the story of Archie, Betty, Jughead, and Veronica, but all things must come to an end. With the 6th season now over, it seems like we're getting closer to the end of the show. The CW network announced that Season 7 of Riverdale would be the last season of the show. So it'll be back for one more, but unfortunately that will be the last. It's important to note that many CW original series have been discontinued recently just like this. However, this one had been running back since 2017 and had a significant fan base. The exact release date of the final season is yet to be confirmed, but fans are being assured that the upcoming season is not delayed and will come out. After such bizarre events in the recent episode, we're not what'll happen next, so let's wait and see. It'll be interesting to see where Riverdale actors KJ Apa, Cole Sprouse, Lily Reinhart, and Camila Mendes go once the show's over. Reinhart probably has the most successful movie career out of the 4 so far, having appeared in Hustlers, Charlie's Angels, and Chemical Hearts. Sprouse was, of course, already a successful child actor before appearing in Riverdale, famous for his role in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Next, fans make hilarious comparisons between Cheryl and Scarlet Witch. After Cheryl's big showdown in the Season 6 finale, fans have been hilarious, making comparisons between her and the MCU character Wanda Maximoff. It looks like the show has taken some inspiration from the Marvel movies in a scene in which she's looking a lot like Scarlet Witch. But the budget for the CW series is not in the same league as Marvel, and it shows. When the comet hits, Cheryl decides to take on it and save everyone. This may sound like just a normal action sequence confrontation one would expect from a show like Riverdale, right? Well, that's not quite the case. The problem is, in bringing this story to life, it went for a full-on copy of your homework move and kitted Cheryl out in a budget version of the Scarlet Witch's costumes from the MCU movies to go with her superhero powers. Of course, social media had a field day with this scene. Twitter user Wanda's Lizzie shared the clip from the episode with the caption, "Do not order Wanda Maximoff from Shein." This was a continuation of the meme that mocks those pop culture references which openly copy things from one another. We're not quite sure how a TV show that was once about a high school murder mystery ended up with its characters floating in the air and using superpowers to stop a comet from hitting the Earth. But there we go, it just happened. Lastly, Riverdale star KJ Apa reveals a photo of his new appearance. Just as the 6th season wrapped, KJ Apa, who plays Archie Andrews in the show, seems to have already given himself a fresh new look for his time off. The 25-year-old actor showed off his shaved head in an Instagram post, having cut his usually long, dyed orange locks. According to fans, this buzz cut was a very different look for him, as he called it a reset in the caption alongside the image. However, some people seem to really like the new appearance. Co-stars Molly Ringwald and Vanessa Morgan commented underneath by saying they absolutely adored it. KJ had previously said that the one thing he won't miss about the show is his red hair. This means he was required to dye his hair red in order to portray Archie, and it wasn't his personal preference. And that's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on the finale preview of Season 6? And what did you think of the last episode? Let us know in the comments below. Do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell notification for similar videos. See you in the next one.